Good afternoon, YouTube. I hope everything's going great at your house this morning. I am stripping this veneer off of this uh, antique Spartan radio this afternoon, and some of it is actually come off just by peeling it up with my fingernail. But the top part is not coming up that easily. I had to get out my heat gun and a razor blade, a scraper with a razor blade on it, and that way I could get underneath this old veneer and pull it up. It absolutely had to come up, and it was ruined. There was no way to get around it. So all you antique people out there that say not to do this, sorry guys. This video is for the people that have stuff that is beyond uh, just cleaning up and fixing. This is a beautiful old Spartan radio from way back in the day, and we're gonna see if we can't get it going again. And we're definitely getting the cabinet in working order. Let's get all this whole veneer off the top of it. I'm not really for sure what kind of veneer it was. Some of it looked like oak, some of it looked like ash, some of it looked like pine. I'm really not for sure. But I do know for a fact that I have some beautiful walnut that is going to look great on this radio. It's just absolutely going to be gorgeous. There is no doubt about it. It's going to be gorgeous when we get through with it. But first, we got a lot of prep work to do before we can get that veneer on. And number one, let's get it scraped. Let's get everything off of it. Then we'll sand with some 180 grit sandpaper and fix any blemishes that comes about. And there shouldn't be a whole lot. This is an old radio. It's made out of 1/4 inch plyboard with veneer on it. And so, I mean, anything can happen whenever you're in the middle of it. And this thing has some pretty intricate cutouts on it. So we got to be careful. And you'll see just what I'm talking about. It's going pretty good here. It's coming up slowly. It took a little bit to get all this done, but thankfully technology has picked up everything to where we can actually do these little projects and do them in double time, and you don't have to spend 35 minutes watching me do the same job. Well, I enjoy doing it, and it gives me something to do. I thoroughly enjoy. I love antiques, and my dad was a radio man, so these instruments here have a lot of. I don't know if you could say they didn't belong to my grandma or my grandpa or anything like that. My dad was a television man, and he had his own sales and service shop in town for I don't know how many years, quite a few years. And he sold televisions and radios, and people would come in and they would want to trade in their old stuff. And I'm sure he'd give them a few dollars for it toward the trade in, but I'm sure it wasn't very much. And a lot of people left their stuff. They would bring it in to be fixed, and it would cost too much to be fixed, and they'd just leave it, and it's a shame, but I mean, that's the way things happen. And at least with these, he was able to, I think about 1972, somewhere along in that time line, whenever he was moving out of his shop, in this very same garage where I'm working at now, he put his television shop in here in about 1972, and he worked there until about 1992, and he made a perfectly good living for us. He was a great father. He was a workaholic. That's a fact. And and he was a hoarder. And I'm trying to get some of these old radios are worth fixing. They're worth getting back out into your hands. I can only put so many in my living room, and I don't. It's just not my passion. If I had my way, I would have Harleys lined up in my living room, but I'm not that fortunate. But anyway, these old radios, they need something done with them. They've set in an enclosed shed for the last 50, well, since 1972. And there's no telling how long he had them sitting in his shop before that. There's Victorias, there's Atwater Kent. I have really got some stuff in the future to bring forth and to show you guys. But I'm not going to do it all at one time. It's going to be one at a time. And as you can tell, I got an old cabinet style. I believe it's a Phillips. I'm not for sure. I can't remember. No, Phil. Well, anyway, as you can tell, I got an old radio there, and I've got a horn for a Columbia. I believe it is a BN number, a 1908 BN model, and I just got through painting the horn way back there in the back. You see it out there, and you see my neighbor's boat over there in his new. I used to could look out across that pasture and see all the way down to the end of the road. I can't no more. He's a good guy, but and that's the problem you have whenever you live in town, and you should be living out in the country somewhere. You never build your house where someone else can change your landscape. That's a fact. If you, look at there. A little piece broke on that curve, but I'll show you in just a minute how to fix it. I don't know if it was already broken or if it was, if I done it. I'm sure I done it. But whenever I put it back on there, it lined up perfectly. And I'm going to show you how I fixed it here in just a moment. But as you tell, I'm sanding all the glue and any rough business in there that the glue will not feel. The glue will feel a lot of that stuff, but these veneer are only like 1/16 of an inch thick. And if you don't watch it, any ripples in your wood or anything like that will show through. Now you see here now I'm matching that piece to go back in, and we'll get it right here in just a moment. The grain's got to line up. Everything's got to line up. It lines up just right, and there's nothing to worry about. Little tight bond glue will get it right on in there. And set it in there with the glue on it. Get any of my excess off. And see, it just set right in there beautifully. And stretch that blue masking tape over it and secure it really well. That's got enough pressure. That glue, when it dries, it will be as strong or stronger than the wood that it is holding. I promise you. And whenever the veneer goes over the top of it, it'll just bend right over it, and everything will be hunky-dory. Nobody will ever know the difference. By the time I get that on there, get the speaker installed and the speaker cloth. What color should I do this? I know people's going to say, do it original. Well, I'm not going to do it original, most likely. I'm most likely going to do it either in a velvet or something along that lines, something pretty. The colors that they had back then, they really weren't really all that great, and there's going to be no way around it. I wish, honestly, that I had some burled maple or maybe some kind of bird's eye maple or something to do this radio cabinet in instead of the walnut. But walnut's what I have, and walnut's what it's going to be. It's going to be gorgeous. You wait and see. Just wait and see. Now here I'm just wiping it down with a wet rag, trying to get one step ahead, try to get all that dust off, and possibly tomorrow we will put some veneer down and see how that works out.